Olá e muito bem-vindos ao Conversa Club. Hoje vamos falar sobre artigos. So today we're going to look at some articles, and I don't mean like newspaper articles, but really essentially we're going to look at but in the scope of a question that I received this week from a student of mine. So I'm going to pop it up right here. The question reads: Oi, Sérgio. Na manchete morreu o saxofonista Dick Parry, conhecido pelas suas colaborações com os Pink Floyd. Tinha 83 anos. Por que é que os Pink Floyd e não a banda? It's a great question. Muito boa pergunta. And this is the kind of thing that the language, the rules of the language don't always adhere to the reality on the ground. So the rule around this sort of thing largely has to do with the understood gender of the terms in the band name. With a band like Pink Floyd, which even in English we wouldn't refer to the Pink Floyd. That sounds weird. I listen to Pink Floyd, not to the Pink Floyd. The Beatles, but not the Pink Floyd. So in Portuguese, really, we really wouldn't do that either. A friend of mine asked me, "Hey, what are you listening to? Que estás a ouvir?" I would say something like, "Estou a ouvir Pink Floyd," just like that. Just like I would say, "Estou a ouvir Radiohead," not os Radiohead. But the fact is, in this case, when we're referring to the band, the actual band members, not the totality of the band, just the band members in this case, because we're looking at the deceased collaborator, partner with the band, we're now talking about his collaboration with these other people. So we have to factor in the gender of those other people. And in this case, Pink Floyd is a band comprised, I think it's always been comprised of males, of men. And therefore, we're going to use the appropriate article, plural, masculine, for os Pink Floyd. And you can look this up. You can look up other references to this specific situation or other situations with other bands in any newspaper, Wikipedia. Look at the Portuguese Wikipedia and see how it's referred to, and you'll see the exact same thing. There are times where they'll just use the band name, but when they're referring to the band members, in that case, we're probably going to have to use the article. Now, naturally, throughout history, most bands are men, but there are obviously bands that are not just men. So think of a band like, I don't know, I'm going to date myself here a little bit, but a band like Blondie, right? It's led by the lead singer, Debbie Harry. There are men in the group, so it becomes Os Blondie. Debbie Harry, a vocalista dos Blondie, of the band Blondie. Now, that's again a mixed group, so we're going to use that mixed group article os for that particular case. But let's fast forward a little bit from the early 80s, late 70s to the mid 90s to the late 90s. Spice Girls. In Portuguese, you would refer to them as as Spice Girls, and there's actually a Portuguese all-girl band that we can probably use, but I know that Spice Girls would be a bit more understood and a better example. As Doce. As Doce. Now, Doce is how the band's referred to on their album covers, in music videos, but in newspaper writings, in any sort of writing referencing them, As Doce. Again, look it up. I did just to make sure, but you'll see that the rule is exactly how I'm explaining it here. So you always want to look to the composition of the band. Is it all men? Is it mixed? Or is it all female? And that's largely it. There are some instances where the name of the band itself may just kind of lead to it. So I don't know. I don't really know the Dixie Chicks, but let's pretend that there's a mix. There's a man in that group. There's a male that plays, I don't know, bass or whatever. I don't know. I don't think there is, but maybe there is. Let's imagine there was. In that case, it would still kind of sound weird to say ooge Dixie Chicks because we understand that chicks are, another term for a slang term for a woman or for women. So it's largely going to have a weird feeling if we said ooge Dixie Chicks because again, the name of the band just kind of lends us to go in that feminine direction. So, Us Dixie Chicks. But for the most part, I think that explains the rule. If you have any questions, please let me know in our comments below. If there are other questions you have like this, you can definitely pose those to me. You can check out my conversaclub.com and join our platform, and you can send me these sorts of questions directly. This is a WhatsApp message, and that's another little tip I would suggest if you're going to come to Portugal. Definitely download WhatsApp and get on there. It's the most useful app that you're going to have at your disposal in Portugal to communicate with a wide variety of businesses, people, etc. That's what people use here. But that's what I use with my students. If you'd like that sort of thing, hit me up on Conversa Club, join my platform, and check out all the other goodies that we have. Até à próxima.